Ladies and gentlemen, distinguished guests, and all lovers of Caribbean music and culture. Good evening and welcome to another vibrant edition of the Caribbean Celebrity Show. Tonight, we gather not just to celebrate talent, but to honor a visionary. Someone whose passion, innovation, and unshakable dedication helped shape the musical landscape of St. Lucia and the wider Caribbean. Tonight, we pay tribute to Mr. Arthur Tisson, the pioneering founder of Magic Circle Express International, a name that has become synonymous with excellence, creativity, and world-class live sound production. As we reflect on this remarkable journey, we proudly acknowledge some of the original members whose artistry helped set the foundation for Magic Circle Express's rise. These are the men who shared the vision: Adolph Philgence, Arthur Tisson, Benedict, Joseph Jones, Penny Deligny, Lancaster, Skeete, Lytleton, Tisson, Stephen Augustin, Ugene, Clyne, Wallace. We stand honored to recognize a man who took his love for music and transformed it into the biggest live sound production company ever to emerge from St. Lucia. Ladies and gentlemen, please join me in celebrating the legacy and the extraordinary vision of Mr. Arthur Tisson.
Caribbean Celebrity Show, we bring you a different celebrity, person who's impacted the culture. This person has been instrumental in the careers of so many St. Lucian musicians, artists. He has been part of the whole St. Lucian musical fraternity, even from back in the day, still present. So it brings me great joy to bring on the man of the hour, Mr. Arthur Tisson. Help me welcome to the Caribbean Celebrity Show. Welcome, my brother. Welcome, my brother.
Yeah, thank you.
And how are we doing today, my brother?
I good. I complaining, we're taking it one day at a time.
Yes, that is it. And Arthur, I must say, boy, I haven't seen you in years, but you look like you give me a good run because you're looking younger than me.
Well, you just have to, as you get older, you have to slow down on certain things.
Mm-hmm. True.
And try and hold yourself a kind of way,
Sure.
I don't smoke, I don't drink alcohol, there are a lot of things that I don't do.
That's
so
a good discipline.
I come from this wisdom book,
Mm-hmm.
There are some things that you just should leave alone as you get older.
That is it. Now, a lot of musicians will be watching, a lot of artists, a lot of people in the industry, and the name Arthur Tisson is, every St. Lucian who has had a love for music will be familiar with your name, will be familiar with your legacy. But tonight, for those who don't know, for the rest of the Caribbean and Europe, the rest of the world, we hope that we could really do justice. I know you're very humble, so we want you to just be yourself and give us the true essence of Arthur. We want to know everything from your journey till present. So, Mr. X, I don't want to be the one asking all the questions, so I'll let you introduce yourself. Because I know Arthur very well, so you could get to know him as well now.
I'm going to talk about the MCE sounds,
Okay.
Yeah. MCE, what it stands for.
Okay. So let me start from the top. I had a band called Magic Circle Express. That's how I really started. And when I moved away from the band thing, I went into production. I find it was kind of fitting to just call it MCE, which is a Magic Circle Express. So that is basically where the name comes from. So when people ask me, boy, what is MCE? And I say, well, the band Magic Circle. So, Magic Circle, okay, yes, Magic Circle Express, I remember that band. So a lot of people can, remember the Magic Circle, but they wouldn't remember the MCE. So I just shortened everything. Instead of calling it Magic Circle Express Production, I just say MCE sounds. And it just MCE. The E is Express. And the sound is basically, because I go to production, I just put in the sound. But basically, it's Magic Circle Express.
MCE, I didn't even know it's been in existence for that long, because I'm listening to the recordings. I was like, but I put this song, but I never knew it was MCE, it's a Magic Circle Express. So taking this one, folks, this is one of the tunes from the original. As you could tell, it's the pure cultural vibe. So, Mr. Tisson, when I was reading your bio, I could see that, and I myself also was shocked to learn that you were a bass player before.
I play all the instruments.
Wow! Because I know you as a keyboardist.
Yeah, I know. I started playing bass. My father, it came from my father. My father was a musician, so he used to play guitar and sing, and sing in 7 different languages.
Wow!
And that's why I was born in Creosote, and then when he came back to St. Lucia, he took us back to St. Lucia. So a lot of people don't know. I mean that I wasn't born here. I wasn't born in St. Lucia.
I didn't know that.
So I put it all my business today. So I was born in Creosote. My father was working in the oil refinery in Creosote. He met his wife, which is my mother, from St. Kitts in Creosote. And that's how they got married. Then they had me and they had Wallace, which is, Wallace, the bass player. Yes. So basically, that is how it really started. And the classic part about it is the music. I didn't have music in me when I was at school. I used to always give my father pressure and say, "That is not making noise in my head now. You're coming there with guitar and you just making noise." He said, "One of these days you will understand." And he just used to play guitar and sing in different languages. Like he had a gift for doing that.
Wow.
So I gave him a little pressure and thing off and on. He come with this guitar and we talk in Spanish because at that time I can't speak no English. And we speaking Spanish or we speaking Dutch or we speaking and he's singing in them languages. So the music. But you see, I keep telling people when somebody have something from their family, their mother, their father, their close family, it's in the genes. There's no getting away. Because when I started to learn the English properly, it took me a little while to learn English in St. Lucia because I already speak in 4 different languages. So I had to kind of scrap them in order to learn English. English, don't let nobody fool you. English is the hardest language to learn. Right? I could attest to that because I catch my nose trying to learn English. I had to learn English because I go into an English school.
Yeah.
I come from Creosote, come there, I speak in Spanish to who? I speak in Dutch to who? Nobody don't understand what I say. So I had a choice but to learn to speak English. So my father stopped speaking the language to me so that I could concentrate on English. I go into an English school. So it all stemmed from my father because he just was a musician that to the bone. He just have his guitar and he playing his thing and he playing the bass with his form and he playing the strings, and these fellas have their technique, which I mean, fellas don't do it again. I think they call it a pedro.
Okay, yes, yes.
Yeah, I think that is the right word for playing with your bass and your first finger. Yeah. So he used to be always playing a pedro.
Wow.
And I had to learn the English. It was hard. I got through, learning English over the years and things. But when I left school, I started working for a company called NCR, repairing machines. I had this technical thing about me. I always have that in me. So I started repairing machines and things. And one morning I wake up on the wrong side of the bed. It's like a man, what are you doing? You're a musician. What are you doing repairing machines and they waking you up all time at the night to come and repair a machine on a holiday and I had this and that. So I just read a letter and I resigned.
Wow.
And then I decided, I go in and do music. That's my passion. That's what I'm going to do. And they had a group called Chapter 8. I don't know if you ever heard of that name.
Yeah,
And
that
they were
David
just, well, in them times you had true tones, quavers,
gave us
and how do you call this guy? Some canaries there.
Ready Makers,
They used to play a lot of
Ribbo 7.
not Ribbo, Ribbo
Oh,
7 became a star.
I know what you're talking about.
I think he lived, that guy, that lead singer living in England.
Yeah, I know. Yes, the name will come to me. I know that.
Yeah, the name will come later now. But these guys were very popular, and in them times, you would go to dance halls around the island, and enjoy yourself. No knife, no gun, no nothing. Just pure music and love. That I enjoyed. So I decided, you know what, I'm going to stick to music because I love music. So Chapter 8 was selling the equipment at the time. They had two tones, quavers, and all them bands, and I was just coming up in the mix together. We had a Bravo 7, and we were more combo. Sugar was kind of semi-combo mixed with brass. Quavers was completely brass. It changed it from mixtures to quavers. And we used to have fun playing bazaar. Every 2 months we have a bazaar in a school somewhere. We're going to jam. It used to be nice. But the times long ago was so different to now.
True.
Long ago, there were more bands out there, and people used to love the bands. Nowadays, everybody jump up to another kind of vibe. Completely different. Completely different. But anyway, life will have to revolve, so it is what it is,
True.
So I bought their instruments because they were packing up, and I said, you know what, I bought the equipment, and I started playing. I found it difficult to rent equipment to go and do a gig, so I bought equipment to do my gigs. Right? Okay. I mean, it was. I mean, more. The equipment was always there. You rent equipment, and when they bring it for you, this ain't working, that ain't working. You call them, they tell you they don't have a spare. They see what you could do, how you could go through one thing. Yeah. And because I was technical, I used to fix it and make it work for the night and tell them, look, you need to get this thing fixed. Find somebody to fix this thing because you can't rent equipment to people that cannot function. But these guys was not doing that as a profession. They had equipment, and you want equipment, you're going to rent. But they wasn't taking it serious. They never was upgrading and this kind of thing. But Saint-Lucia, that's a long time. Right? So the album you heard me that T-Better Boateng came with, we call it a Martinique. That was the first album. Yeah, a Martinique. People heard us playing around and stuff, and they come to us and they say, hey, we want to take you out to Martinique to record your songs because we hear you playing a lot of originals. And we went to Martinique, we record that, came back to St. Lucia, it got popular. More gigs around the different dance halls, different schools, different bazaars, niceness right through. And then the era came where cruise ships, the cruise ships now want that kind of music. They want they tired of the other kind of music, so they want the Caribbean music, especially they had the Kuna contests and thing coming to St. Lucia every week. And they want to have that music on the boat. They really and truly, but you on the boat and you play your music, they love it, yes. But they still want you to play some of theirs. Right. The My Ways and yes. Well, which is fine. I mean, you broaden your scope as far as music goes. So it's good to play different genres of music. We used to mix up a little jazz. We did the cruise ship for a while. And then something pricking me, tell me, Tisson, that what you want to do. You'll be there, but, that's not what you want to do. And I got another band, Solution Band, send them in our place. And I stayed on shore for a while. I decided to make a bold move, moving from the cruise ship, making money, and coming on land, not making real money, but my goal was never staying on a cruise ship. That wasn't my goal. My goal was to do something bigger than that. So I take a chance, started playing the hotels in St. Lucia, and then I got fed up with that too. And then I started playing on the road, for doing carnival trucks, big trucks and things. And then I formed another, yeah. I formed another 5 bands, and people just graduate to me as a person, they like, and they like the way I'm moving, and they figure out, boy, I go to stick with Tisson for a while, and I had bands for about maybe a good 7-8 years.
Yeah.
And I also had to discipline them because, the discipline in playing in a hotel is not like playing in a dance hall or school for bazaar. That's night and day. Sure. You have to be on time. The people advertise the thing for the band to start at 5 o'clock. You have to be there by 4 o'clock, set up your thing, make sure everything working. Boom, 5 o'clock you start. So you have some musicians now starting good and then they're always late. So I mean, for me, I was a disciplined person, and I would talk to my musicians and thing, and tell them, look, if we sign a contract with the hotel, we had to show up on time. And a lot of musicians now call me back and tell me, boy, so thanks. We are on the board there now, and that discipline sticking us. But they wasn't singing at the time, so I had created a lot of enemies. I used to fire musicians every week. When you show up on time, I just get rid of you and get somebody else, train somebody else, because I had that skill. Like I could play all the instruments, I could sing, I could, so I just used to train people and look and scout. Sometimes I used to do judging for little events and things. So I use that. Pick up a Claudia Edwards here, Nicole Davis. Pick up artists that just pick them up and then make them part of the bag. So when a man really give me trouble, you'll come to work next day, and I just tell you, I don't think nothing, brother, but your lateness can't work with me. So I get a little unpopular because people figured I was too strict. But they wasn't understanding that if I commit myself to a hotel, a contract with a hotel, I have to start at a certain time.
That is it.
They're not the boss. You're not going to them and to the drummer or to the singer and say, hey, why are you late? They come to me when my band start late. And then sometimes they want to threaten you about taking off a little piece of the pay because you start late. So I had that discipline, and I just happened to make it work. It's either you're out. A lot of people didn't understand me until now. As they get older, they have their own thing. They realize, boy, what you show us there, that was important. And now, they realize it. They more than an hour early. They're flying on a plane 2 hours early. Waiting for Tisson to come, because they know that discipline. You have to have that discipline. So, but it worked out for a while. And Jones was playing congas. I was playing. Well, I moved from bass to keyboards. Wallace went to play bass. So the three of us, and we had a guy called Evans playing drums. And he was a latecomer, or how you talk to him, and you think he indispensable, because at the time he was a good drummer. I mean, you won't get me hanging around nobody that can do what they have to do. They have to be on par. So he was a good drummer. And I could give you just a little story of how me and my two brothers started playing for a long time. So, but Evans was playing drums. So we go on a few places, and Evans always late. He always late and giving excuses and things. So I said, okay. Josie beating congas and he's singing. singing most of the songs. I sing in some. Wallace would do backups, but he wouldn't really sing.
Okay.
And then, go to dance halls, and it came out really nice. For years, Magic Circle all over the place, and it going down nice. Until one night, we gone to Babono, I think some part in Babono called Reggae. And the drummer just never turned up.
Wow.
Drummer never turned up. And I look at Jones and I say, Jones, you have rhythm, you play the congas and you're singing. So let me try at it. You just sit on the drums and play. Because I was already training him on the side, showing him how to play drums. And he was, when he in the band room, he used to come and he had the interest, so he was looking at it all the time.
Okay.
And they always say that God has put things in a certain way. And when he put it in a certain way, we doesn't see. But that night he did that. I say God put it so for us to just buck up, make it happen. You get the people pay you for that today engagement already. You have to work, you have to play.
Yep.
So Jonesy played drums, I and my keyboards, and Wallace playing bass, all of us singing. And I mean, I say you have to say it's God that created that, because that was my best night.
Wow.
That was my best night in all the music I played around St. Lucia. That night was the best night. I never heard a man that never play a drum, but I mean never play live, but he was practicing and beat that drum and sing, and we just mash up the place, and people just we couldn't leave. We had to leave at the time. You 1 o'clock, 1:30, you had to pack up because you reaching 2 o'clock, police come and stop you.
Yeah.
And 2 o'clock pass and people say we are not going nowhere. We say, well, we're tired. We start playing from 10 o'clock. We're tired, and they say, I try to fool them and tell them, boy, the repertoire is finished already. So they still play the same songs. That's all right. We left there and almost daybreak playing music. We take a pause, we wake up back, and people, the place jump up. The people refuse to move. That was my best night. So when the drummer called me now next morning, give me some excuse, and he telling me whatever he's telling me, I tell him, hey, don't think nothing, man, come for your pay. I don't need your services anymore. Because I was joking, because he never saw Jones playing drums, and he wanted to know who replacing him.
Yeah,
that was not to be extremely good to replace him, because he think he's a big ball child, he's good at what he do, and nobody can play like him. But what he didn't know, Jones was playing, and Jones was practicing on the side, and Jones could play and sing. You see, and that is how I created the Magic Circle. Just continue with three of us.
Wow.
Three of us decide, we're going down the road and we're doing that. And we used to jump in the boulevard for free during Carnival, in the wrong area there, where Nova Scotia is there. The Little Island's still there. We used to go there, jam for free. The place, the cup, the place jam packed. We ain't have no tarpaulin, no nothing over our head. we like the music, and we just decided we're gonna do that. And during the Carnival time, we like at lunchtime, we go and take a jam. We just put our speakers out there, we go and take a jam. And I think that's one of the things that had the group very popular. Right. Because, we wasn't looking for no money. We had the love of music in us. Don't forget my father, Jones, Wallace, and me, have the genes in the aspect of the love of the music, and we go and jam, and we got very, very, very popular. So every Carnival, anything they have, they looking for Magic Circle. I mean, they had other bands there, but for you to get three fellas doing what they're doing, you get there guys like 12 fellas, maybe in two tones or quavers, another 12, and it's just three fellas doing what we're doing, and producing what we're producing. So I used to mix. I mixing and I playing. Jones singing and he playing, and Wallace playing his bass and he singing. We did that for years.
Wow.
for years, so that is basically how I really started. And then after a while, I know, and the hotel business, how it is. But we used to use the hotel as a practice ground.
Practice grounds, yeah, that's true.
I tell people we do the originals in our band room, and we come and we do use the hotel to put what we practice in the hotel. So see the response, how people responding to the originals and how they responding to what they know. So instead of, if I have to do a song like My Way, I'll put My Way in Zouk, and you're hearing the words, but the beat different. So people used to freak out on that. And actually, we actually got a gig in Jamaica like that because, the woman came, we're doing something at Sanders Grand, and she just freaked out that we were doing covers, but we're doing them in our beat. Our style, not. I keep telling musicians, you don't need to get creative. This thing about trying to
copy the original.
Yeah, the original. There is no way under the sun, and I still say that up to this day. There is no way under the sun that we will be able to play on My Way or one of these North American disco world of these songs and. Like the Americans, because it's a certain skill, a certain technique. They will not be able to play our soca. They will not be able to the same thing. Our kalas and our zouk and thing. They will not be able to play. That's why they stay away from it. But we were forced in playing their music because the clientele is there. But I used to break the rules because I figured. Yes, you come to the Caribbean, and I do believe you want to hear what you hear up north. I believe when you come to the Caribbean to hear something different. So I used to take the songs and turn them around, put them in reggae and put them in just calypso, just change it around. But you're hearing the same words, but we just change the beat around, and it used to work because that took us to Jamaica Carnival. Jamaica, they just see us and hear what we're doing. At a cocktail in Sanders Grand, and she just play our passage and tell her, hey, you're coming and playing our carnival because we like what we hear. We end up in Jamaica, and I try to tell the young musicians coming up, try and do original music.
Very true.
And then try and create a style. I will give you a history of something that you know and half of the world know. That beats soca. Where do you think soca came from?
No idea, to be honest.
Soca didn't come from Trinidad. Soca came from St. Lucia.
Are you serious?
Okay. I'll tell you how.
Hold on. Let me even pause the music. I want to make sure I don't miss a word.
Let me tell you how it happened. You know Ras Shorty Eye, right?
Yes, yeah.
Ras Shorty Eye, I think he died a few years ago. He came to St. Lucia, and we had this band room in Marshall.
Okay.
And we used to practice there. And, Ras Shorty Eye and a few other Trinidadians say, look, I hear that beat. I really want to learn that beat, that cadas you all playing, that it's coming there, two other people and a woman, and he said, I want you all to teach me how to play that on the drums. Now, there's a fellow too, called Steve.
Yeah.
I think he is a barber or something like that.
Yeah, Steve Michael in there. Yeah.
Steve come and he tried to show him how to play the zouk, but he couldn't get the zouk. He just using out a snare. He tell him, look, leave the snare alone and try to use the right hand and the kick and the begin kind of thing and mixing them up. So by the time he played the kick drum and he played the hi-hat, his left hand getting confused. So we spent a whole night, all like 3 o'clock in the morning, trying to get him to understand. He recording, he still ain't getting it right. And he said, Ras say, you know what we go do, man? Tisson, we go take that and we go call it soca.
Wow.
So I going back to Trinidad and I using that last beat there with the snare, and see that I can't get the right hand right, the kick drum right, but the left hand just not doing what it have to do. He say I go into Trinidad, back to Trinidad, and you will hear a thing they call soca, and you'll know that come from Saint Lucia. Nobody knew that song that came from Saint Lucia.
Saint Lucia. That's amazing, you know, because I made the connection thinking, well, calypso, soca come from calypso, and I know calypso come from Trinidad. So that's what, and I think a lot of people have that assumption as well.
Well,
you know,
some people say it's from Guyana. Some people say it's from Venezuela because of the bachata and you know, all this kind of thing. Yeah, some people think come from Haiti.
Unbelievable.
Yeah.
You see, folks, you see why it's important that we have these sessions, because
what I tell you there, what I tell you there is the truth, you know. And a few people in St. Lucia might know because they was in the band at the time, and they knew when Rasta was short, he came and was trying to get that beat sorted out. And but the world don't know that soca came from St. Lucia.
They know now, They know now.
Yes.
Respect on that.
Yeah, man. So you know, we did a lot of that. The music was always in our bones, and then leaving the cruise ships and leaving the hotels and thing, I just decided, you know what, I'm going to go in production because it's the love again. I have the love for the music, and I just decided, you know, I going into that after doing carnival trucks on the road for how many years and thing. You know, you seen all them bands coming down from overseas and things. So I said, okay, with the bands coming from over there, they could do that, I could do it too. So you imagine that you're playing on the road, carnival Monday and Tuesday, and the same carnival Monday and Tuesday, as you finish on the road, you have to go in the hotel and fulfill your contract. So all of us in the hotel now, and we shouting at one another. So fellas saying, well, why are you shouting? We saying, but because the noise that we just finished deal on the road there. We just finished on the road there.
Oh boy.
The music was, I mean, had to be loud. So you go in the hotel and you're talking to one another and we're talking loud. Like you know, and people just, why are you talking so loud? See, but we just come from the road and we trying to cool it down, but we're not hearing what you're saying because our ears for 2 days there, our ears tired.
True,
you know?
True.
So from the road, you jump in a vehicle, take a little wash up and thing, and in the hotel.
One time.
These are things that we do.
Wow.
But yes.
I think people might take it for granted. They might see you and acknowledge your success, but they may not realize the level of work you've put in already over those years at that. You know?
No, they don't.
One of the hardest working, and I come and meet you, you know, in the business. I come and see you as established, and you inspired me as well. And, you know, seeing all you've achieved, all you've done, you know, what has been your driving force to, you know, because people could say, well, boy, anybody else could say, well, boy, if they reach just quarter of what you're doing, they could say, well, yeah, I could relax now, you know. What has always been the driving force to push you?
Okay, the driving force in anything you do, people have to take that in seriously, is the love for what you do.
Love.
If you do not love what you do, there is no way under the sun that you're going to stay with it. At my age, I still love what I do.
I could tell.
You know, I could have opened a supermarket, I could have opened a gas station, there have so many other things that I could have done because I got offers along the way, and I just choose not to. I want to die doing something that I love. You know, this thing about, you know, going to do something that you love, and it pay off because, I mean, it's like jazz. You know, I mean, BET was doing jazz for a while, and I was able to take that away from them. And Sound was able to take it away from them, and I still have it.
Yes.
Up to this day, you know, and that's not coming just so. You have to You know, as a principal man, you have to, is that you like, you know, at it and you go at it and you head for the top. You know? But the young people nowadays have patience. You know,
They want it overnight. They want it overnight.
yeah, you know, they want it overnight. It doesn't work like that. You know, you cannot do anything in this world and expect to do it overnight. It doesn't. It just will not work. You know, they have too many things. That's what they tell you. When you're going to fire a person to experience, make sure that the other person that coming in have at least half the experience that person has, because they might be putting a bolt in a machine, but the technique of that bolt in that machine, the ordinary man will just come and just screw up and then finish it. If you got it all right, 2 days the bolt come back out. But there's a technique in putting that particular bolt in that. Is this like music? Is singing music? You know, there's a technique in playing zouk. There's a technique in playing begin. There's a technique in playing calypso and soca. There's a technique, you know, and people feel that you just come and knock the drums anyhow, and fellas play like right now. I play at the churches. I play just me alone, my computer and my keyboard, and I try to get young people to come in and jam with me, and I have a problem. Because the problem I have with them is they want to play loud. And I say, no, it's not about loud, it's a technique. You know, and you have to listen. You know, people don't listen. You know, everything's about playing loud. It's not about loud. It's about technique and playing in time and doing what you have to do. Like some drummers, I mean, most drummers that I play with, they annoyed me. I sorry to say that, but you know, a drummer's supposed to roll letting you something happening.
Yes, true.
You roll.
I hope you're listening. I hope you're listening, musicians. Right? I hope you're listening keenly.
Right? You're playing steady, and you know a solo come in, the drummer roll to signify that intro coming up or a solo coming up or something. In the middle of a verse of a song, the fellas want to crash. Roll. What you rolling for? Come on. A drummer have his place just like I have my parts. And like in the middle of a song, I could just start to solo and the person singing. No, we all have our parts, and when our part come, you play your part. But youth of today feel that it's boring to just stay playing the hi-hat all the time until my time come to roll to say that something happening. But that's what your job. Your job is to roll and tell and when you roll, you're telling me something that's coming up.
About happening,
Something has to happen when you roll. Not just roll out of the blue in the middle of a song. You roll in, and for what you roll in. You know, and you talk to music, you talk to them and they vex, they don't understand. Music is discipline. You have to have that discipline. True. You know, and you have to lead from that. So for me playing in the churches, I play by myself because I have less stress. The only person that I will play that will play with me and I feel really comfortable is my son, Michel.
Okay.
Michel,
Big up Michel.
Yeah, Michel. And then Denzel, these guys is guys I train and they have that discipline. You know, the rest that coming now don't understand. You know, they have a time and a place to do things, to do certain things.
Yeah.
You know, you just do what you want in the music. No. You know, I mean, up to today, a guy met me and you running me down, and I want to know why do that man? Why that man come to beat me or something? Then the man telling me, no, Tisson, I have a hi-fi and on my car, and I know you could tell me what to do to get it right. I said, look, I'm sorry to say, my boy, but all the cars I listen to in St. Lucia, it doesn't sound right to me. For me, I know you all get that era of bass, and then your voice is struggling to come out, and then you don't know what is the bass guitar and what is the kick drum. You know, the kick mix up in the bass kick, so you can't really identify the bass notes. The frequency is so close that you don't know what is what. You tell me how I mean. I say, look, it's very simple. Take out all your gadgets. Go from your power amp to your speaker. No EQ, no nothing. Just go straight there. Take a song that recorded, because 90% of the songs in the world is recorded properly. Right? You will hear the bass, you hear the kick. You hear, depending on the genre you're doing, you could go to a group like Tapu Combo, where is doing Copa. So you have, top groups. So you choose one. And I used to tune Latin music when I set up my PA. Because my ears was kind of tuned to Latin music because I was born in England. So I still have that kind of Latin in me. So I used to use Latin music for me to hear what I want to hear. And if it does something right, then I get the song right. So you choose a song, I think that it could be reggae, you could choose a reggae too, because most of the reggae is recorded properly. Right? Yeah. Except for the dancehall thing that are a little muddy, but you could work with that. So I said, I just connect direct. Since I was a sound engineer, I wasn't only a sound engineer. I had to learn to set up my system. I had to learn to Bluetooth, you know what I mean? And my father didn't have the money to send me to school, so I sent my son to school. Come back as a sound engineer, production, the whole works. It cost me I'm on two legs, but that's fine because I know he could do almost anything. Right. He's the only one in Solution.
That's what I've heard. That's what I've heard.
Yeah. He went to 4 sales. Cost me a little change, but he's the only one in Solution qualified to tell you anything about anything to do with sound or screens and lighting, and he did the whole thing, right? So I tell the guy, try that and come back and let me know what you hear. Don't put nothing on it. Just go from the amplifier to the speakers and play a song that you like. There you go. I could try that. He come back to me, call me back. I hear him come back to me. He call me and say, look, I need all the instruments. I say, okay, there you go. You need all the instruments. So all you put an EQ on it, go flat with the EQ, and then listen to the frequencies that you like. But if it's going to interfere a keyboard or a conga or a trumpet, and the frequency that you're raising is going to make it sound not natural, it's making it sound off. Pull it back down and put it back flat. Right? Then you're going to go up, I can try that. It didn't take 5 minutes, the man called me again and he said, boy, you know this thing working. So I had to come by you. I say, well, for now, I busy have an interview today and I have other things doing, and on weekends I play in the church. So we'll make a date. But that's a guy that's interested in getting it right.
Right, that is it.
But most of the systems that you hear in vehicles, right, you cannot identify the foundation.
No definition.
What is the foundation? The foundation is the drums and bass. Don't let somebody fool you. Drum and bass is the foundation, like your foundation of your house. If you can't get that right, nothing else will sound.
Facts.
They wonder why MC sound better than everybody else because they use the same equipment, maybe our equipment are a little more expensive, but we go for the top brands, so we know what we did. So at the end of the day, we have a video system, but we have 3 systems. We have a Steiner system, a video system, and an EAW system, and we make it all of them sound right.
That is it.
At the end of the day, it's not so much the speaker, is what you putting in it.
That is it.
The ingredients to make it sound right.
You still continue to be inspiration and a teacher to a lot of people. A lot of people do not.
Oh yeah. I will continue to teach and give advice until I dead. I mean, they have systems in St. Lucia. They have sound companies in St. Lucia, and I never fight them down. I will give them work. I will tell them what to do. Right, as long as you're interested, as long as you're going to come with the attitude of trying to fight down one another, and I talk to you and I see you still heading in that direction, I will hop on. Anybody that willing to work together, whether we have been loved together in the same country and things, so I'm willing to help. I don't care what company it is, because at the end of the day, it's in the Bible. You know, you help somebody along the way, somebody else will help you, not the same person you help. Yeah, do not try to keep everything for yourself. Always dish out what I talk to my son about that all the time.
Yeah.
My son will go and help somebody set up a system, make sure it's only right and turn his back.
Yeah. Wow.
You know, and some of the other companies will not do it.
Yeah, I know because St. Lucia, I mean, it's a relatively small island, and you know, everybody wants to be the best, everybody wants to be on top and stuff. There's room for everybody to grow, but you know, I mean, when I look at from my experience, and I posted that online today, out of all, because I've played on mostly all of those different, you know, I don't know for the new ones that's about the place now, but I've played on almost every sound system in terms of in live events, big national events, and I've never had a complaint on MCE sounds. I've never had a bad moment. I've never come on stage and there's issues and you know, I've never had anything. And I've had my fair share with the other. Sometimes when you deal with the promoter and the promoter tell you, well, that is the sound company, you already have a knot in your stomach, because you already know a lot of the times, you know, wrong square pegs in wrong holes. The fellas fighting because they already know what they're doing, and then you as an entertainer on stage, you know, you suffering for that. But I've never had any experience. So I played open of carnival on your systems. I've played different places in your systems. So kudos, I could say hand on heart, with my experience, that is the best, and I would probably say even in the region, because I know that
because don't forget we've been doing the Creole Festival. I mean, for years we are doing the Creole Festival. You know, until
so
we had
to put some respect when we mentioning the name Atta Tisson and MCE Sounds, because that's world renowned, you know. And I wanted to touch quickly on the St. Lucian Independence Award that in February 2020, I think 2019, you were recognized and awarded with a gold merit for your long service in music. So, you know, you're definitely an icon in the business, and we definitely had to bring you on. Mr. X, I know you still have some other questions, and I don't want to, you know, think, but
you can ask me anything. You can ask me anything. We're having fun. We're having fun.
Yeah, because I could still remember Atta. I came to Atta because I was hearing the name before I even knew who he was. I was hearing the name Atta Tisson, Magic Circle, Apex. I was hearing DN5, the different names that I was affiliated with you at the time, and I still remember my early Kimmer Wallace days, and I came to Atta. I said, Atta, I want to set up a band, but I want you to guide me as to what. And Atta told me, well, okay, you get this piece of equipment, you get this, and you get that, and you know, and you've always mentored me. You may not know it, but I'll say it. In my mind, you've been like a musical father to me, because I always look up to you. I always watch you. And, you know, sometimes it takes all the courage to come up to Atta and ask Atta a question, because like you might feel like, you know, boy, Atta might say, boy, how come that man come and yeah, you know, but you've never pushed me aside or stood me wrong. And I have that continual respect for you. I think if there was 2 or 3 individuals like Atta, other than you in St. Lucia, our music industry would be leading the Caribbean, because your work ethic, you know, your work ethic, your experience, your knowledge, and you're very humble and you know, willing to share. And it's the opposite with a lot of our peers, sadly to say, because they feel if they share something with you today or tomorrow, they think that you'll probably come and you'll be a threat or competition. But it's nothing further from that with Atta, because you've always been somebody I look up to. I say, boy, when I see Atta, I used to come in the hotels and watch you. I used to, back in the days of Rex, Papillon, and back in the days of
Shamrock,
Splash Disco, where the band used to play in the corner and the stage there, you know. And I used to come, and we used to go. That's to be our school, you know. That's one band we have to go and watch, and we go and listen to the songs they're playing. Like you say, when you put a little zouk bit behind the ballads, "Wind Beneath My Wings," and you'll switch that in a zouk. I said, boy, like I did in school, and I learned it, and I could thank you, because you were instrumental in my career. I mean, I've never worked for you as a musician, but I could say I've learned from you, and you have actually put me in a position where I could say, well, yeah, boy, thank you, Arthur. Thank you, my brother. Because, you know,
I appreciate you. I appreciate you more than you think. I'll tell you why. They have a few musicians that I groom. They're on cruise ships, like Lindy and a few other guys. And say, these guys, they're halfway around the world, wherever, will call me and say, "What you say? How are you doing? What? We just checking up on things." You know, there are some good, genuine ones that appreciate what you did for them. And in everything you do in this world, you have the grateful ones and the ungrateful ones. So, you know, I mean, DN5, Trevor in Canada, we still link and thing, you know. So, all this, I am a person that believes in God. So, I believe that, you know, if you believe in the Bible and you do good deeds will always follow you.
Follow you, true.
You know, don't try to ruffle nobody's feather. We're not perfect. We're not perfect beings, but we could try. You know, try to stop fighting down one another and stop criticizing one another, and just, you know, the good Lord will guide you if you need guidance, if you're in the right place. Because you know, as long as you're in the wrong place, then you're not going to get that wisdom. You're not going to get, you know. And people find it strange, you know, Tisson boy, you're in that business for so long. How you continue this thing, how you continue, like you said earlier. I mean, it's not me, it's God. You know, God leading me in the right path to go down that road and to keep doing what I doing and do well and try and help everybody. And I up to this day, I help everybody. You know, somebody come and tell me, boy, come and do that for the school. Like last weekend, they had something and they didn't pull it to the school and say, Tisson, you could help me with a liquor system. Just come on, see, I just take 2 speakers, a little mixing board. I go down there and I just let the children enjoy themselves. They could cultural thing and ting, and I leave. They say, you tell me so many thank you. I say no, and I don't think nothing. Anytime you shout me, as long as I have the, I will help. You know, and I buy little equipment because, you know, as you go along, you're as strong as before. So I buy things that I know I can live up by myself. If my children tell me you know, they're busy, or if we're busy doing a show somewhere and I want to say about somebody, I could pick up that and go, you know. But my kids don't want me to touch nothing. They don't want me to lift up nothing. They don't want me.
I mean, after all,
they're finding the way. They're finding a way to squeeze in a time and come and set it up. I say, but I could do that. No. Up to today, I try to lift up a piece of stage and Michelle say, no. Leave that. Don't touch it. You know, and then I see that it light. It can heavy.
Something
but
you can manage.
They have this kind of how should I put it? Safety net. They just want to make sure that you know, I appreciate it. You know, but like I tell people, as long as you have the good Lord in your area and you believe in Him, you will always do well, because you're not a person looking to fight down nobody. You live your life nice and calm. You're trying to respect everybody as much. A lot of people know me, you know. A lot of people. One time I went in a place, then a fellow say, a phone call for Tisson.
Yeah.
I look, I say, and you hotel there, and I say, well, phone call? Are you able to tell the person call on a cellular? No. Who is that for Tisson? I there with my slippers, my, you know, like normal. I be there setting up. We there setting up a Shaka can. And so when I go to and answer the call, the man say, you is that for Tisson? Because I expecting to see a white man, or I expecting to see a man in coat and tie. And I get that almost every day. People just freak out that, you know, I'm a natural. I'm a natural.
Man.
You know, for me, it don't matter. You know, the gift came from God, and for me, I don't have the time to try and camouflage nothing. I'm a natural. I raised up in Fulasho when that's where my father had his first house, and we used to be natural. All of us natural. Go to the beach. Go to, you know, we do and things. So we jump in the sea. All of us, you know. So why change? Why change for what? You know, it's not going to take you anywhere by changing. You know, but I up to this day I am still willing to help the other sound companies. I still help them. You know, some people feel I shouldn't, but that's their business. That's not my business. And I was designed to do what I do, and I doing it. You know, when I tell people, you know, when you listen to Bob Marley and his sounds and his teaching from the Bible and everything coming true today, and things, so he didn't do that on his own accord. You know, he's a messenger. He's a messenger. He come down to do that. You know, he didn't last for long, but if you listen to his music, it's still in the air there, ain't going nowhere.
True.
You know?
Very true.
But they have a lot of things that I would like to see happen. One is, in order for musicians in the, I would say Caribbean, but I would say more St. Lucia, to encourage musicians or encourage people that want to do music, the system have to change.
True.
The system have to change. We could start with little things. First, the government giving people licenses to open radio stations. They have their rules. Right? They have their rules. So all you need to do is add in that rule. You have to play 50% local music. Right?
I'm in agreement to that.
And 50% whatever you want. That would encourage now the artists in St. Lucia or people that want to go in the business to take a chance, because recording is expensive. Going into the art form is expensive. And we're not asking the government for help. All we're saying is put things in place, right? That when it's our thing, it's our thing. Like during Carnival. You know, I told a minister that the last time, I said, look, man, I have done crop over in Barbados. I've done Antigua Carnival. I go to Dominica every year to do the Creole Festival. And I could tell you, these free islands put their people first.
Amen. Amen.
I never heard, I could never ever tell somebody that during the Creole Festival or the or Carnival, because you go there for both Carnival and Creole Festival. And I used to get a kind of fed up and say, boy, why don't people play that music over and over and over?
Over and over.
Dominicans will play their music on their radio, their people, for the whole of Carnival.
True.
If you hear a Trinidad song, it's played by a DJ somewhere on the side or in some rum shop, but you're not getting that on the radio. For the month of Carnival, you're getting, that's encouragement. You people wonder why we have bands up to now, and they have that booyah thing, and that's the incentive. That incentive from there from day one. It's not like that in St. Lucia. St. Lucia have a wide scope of music. They play what they want when they want. We have so much music in St. Lucia. We have National Day. You know, come on, National Day. We have enough music to play for the day. Every radio station. Every radio station in St. Lucia should be playing our music on National Day.
Do you think that's ever going to change?
I hope they're listening.
I sincerely hope they're listening, because there's no other way. We're not asking the politicians and the people in power that be to give us no money. If you set the groundwork, the foundation, the money will come automatic. The artists will jump in quick, because boy, on that day they have one radio station in St. Lucia that play local music every Thursday. And that is Sprinkles. Every Thursday you could turn on to Sprinkles radio station.
And you have local, right? True.
And you're getting, for that day, on that Thursday, you're getting locals alone. local music alone from top to finish.
Wow.
So that means it could be done.
It could be done.
Can be done.
And I'm sure there's enough to pay for more than one day as well.
No, they have more than that. They have more than that. Yeah, I mean, they have music that like you say you never heard. You never knew it was magically. I mean, they have music there that I don't have my songs on the radio, and I'm okay. For me, I gone into another section there. It's fine. Yeah. But I am saying for the youth coming up, the demo segment and the whatever coming up, right? You need to play the local music. And if it start with the government and say, hey, I'm giving you that license, but every day you must play 50% local music. It must work because the youth are coming up saying, boy, I have a chance of hearing my song when I produce it. Yeah. But not now. I think most of the radio stations play 90% of foreign music. If we're lucky, we get a 10%. If we're lucky. It's not fair to us as artists. It's not fair, and when I talk like that, some people, I guess some people, I might be ruffling their feathers or like, no, so, but it really matter to me.
But it's needed, though. It's needed because, you've seen it, and even for me, even looking at when I was just coming into the music vibes. And just looking at, the bands, the combos, and the bands with live brass and the hotels, and even the structure of how things, it was a lot better and more organized back then. Bands had to be doing their originals and the recordings and stuff, and even when a band is gone, look, we could still enjoy Magic Circle Express music, but a lot of bands have come and gone and nothing to show of their own for it.
Absolutely nothing.
You understand?
Absolutely nothing. Absolutely nothing. And I created two bands. Well, let's say one of them that we tour Europe. Apex. You must have heard about Apex.
Of course.
We stayed. Zimbo used to play keyboards. He went to study. He went to do medicine, and Derek had his little, way of sequencing songs and things. Yeah. And I just took Derek on the mics. I said, you have to learn to play. We used to spend days and nights in the studio, in my studio, learning to play keyboards. Yeah. And look at Derek today.
Yep.
Derek was a bass man,
Yeah, I know. I could still remember. I could still remember him playing his bass and the guys calling out the notes and stuff, and then I could still remember when he went on the keyboards. And I think anybody that have passed under your wings, Arthur, I think you should just open a school. A
lot of people come to the churches and ask me, if I could open a little something because they want. Yeah. But like I say, the discipline not there.
Yeah.
Everybody want to do everything now and get it done now. Yeah. And they don't understand it takes a little time to get things to the way you want it. But you must. The most important thing is the foundation is the discipline. You could play the best keyboard in the world. You could be the best keyboard man in the world. You could be the best singer in the world, and you don't have that discipline. You ain't going nowhere.
Yeah, true. Mr. X, you had a question you were going to ask a while ago. You have a question?
I was saying, in St. Lucia's tropical climate, how do you manage technical challenges like rain, humidity, power issues doing shows?
Equipment and stuff. Okay.
Yeah.
That is a number one question. That is a little question. That's a good question. I tell you why. We in the Caribbean dealing with different kinds of our weather is funny. I remember when I start off a long time ago, you could guarantee that if rain going to fall, you're going to know. Because the mountains will change color, and then you get a little drizzle, and after the drizzle is a shower. So you know you're getting rain. Nowadays, somehow rain come down and you don't know rain coming. It just come down on you. So it makes it's more difficult for us now than before. We have to now always prepare for the weather. That's one of the reasons why I bought a dome structure. I don't know if you saw the dome structure during jazz and stuff. The flat roof, I have flat roof, but to secure the equipment and ensure that the shows continue. And the positioning of the stage too is very important.
True.
Because if you know your wind coming from the east and you set up your stage on the west, you know when wind come down with wind, everything going away.
Yeah, true.
So all these things you have to put in place when you're going to do an event. You advise the powers that be the best way. So far, the dome is the safest thing because rain could fall from now till tomorrow.
Yeah,
your stage is all right. If the other roofs, the other flat roofs, guarantee you have to stop.
Wow,
that's guaranteed. You
at some point
that thing up in the air there, and there's no way, there's no covering. The covering on the top, but that's for dry weather, basically. So that's one of the reasons why I went and I bought the dome, and it working out nicely because our weather in the Caribbean now is very unpredictable, and I wanted to safeguard the equipment.
Yeah,
current water and current don't mix them.
Don't mix at all. Yeah,
two of them vex with one another. Water falling in a thing there is fireworks.
True.
You didn't need power. Man could get electrocuted.
True.
So I found a way to try and secure the artists, secure the equipment, and that was my goal, and I did that, and it worked. It worked for years. Still working for years.
Yeah, man.
So to answer your question, that is what I did to deal with the weather, because the weather not easy.
These things keep it coming. You have some good questions on your belt.
Anything you want to ask me, I could give. I'll give you reasons why I do certain things. I always have a reason for doing certain things. I don't just jump up and do things. I mean, I just bought a roof there. And I look at all the roofs in the Caribbean.
Okay.
And I just buy the biggest roof in the Caribbean.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
I can cover. It cover half of the Sam.
Wow.
Yeah. So I did that because we need, when the rain comes down, remember our carnival is in July. And that's our rainy season. So I say I have to get something that could cover as much as possible, and the show could still go on. People in the front of the umbrella and thing, that is one thing. But I want the show to go on, and the only way to achieve that is to get a massive structure, so the show could still go on. Rain coming down, but the show could still go on.
Yeah.
And I did that. I just did that recently. I just got it last.
Wow.
Yeah, but I sure you must see it, and
man.
The different clippings. So I still looking for higher heights. I still looking to improve everything. And people don't understand. I remember my wife before she died. She told me when I will stop spending money. So I tell her, in my business, you have to keep abreast with the times, and it's no use leaving money sit down in a bank, and then tomorrow you peg out some sweet man eating your money, some kind of stupidness. You make the money, you spend it, put it back into the business. You must always invest money back into the business. If it's make money, you invest it back, you get the best mic for your studio. I have mics there that, unbelievable mics. And when people come and Go Food and Fire, and they come down to Solution, we're doing certain things, and they ask for certain microphones, and we tell them we have it. They say, what?
That is what I know. That is what I know. That is what I know.
They come and they say, you in the Caribbean? How did you get that? That's almost sound impossible. Like one time I was playing at Fisherman's Wharf at Halcyon, Hassan Beach Club. And a guy from Italy saw me playing an Elka. And that's a keyboard mainly for strings, but it has this piano topping on it. And he couldn't fathom, what? Yeah, that's an Elka? For real? How did you get that to St. Lucia? You know? So from times I always believe in getting
the right stuff.
Tools, the right stuff. I always believe in having the right. It pays off in the end.
Yeah,
you know, don't let nobody encourage you in buying if you can't afford to buy the right thing, save up and wait until you can buy the right thing.
Yeah.
But you buy the wrong thing and you'll keep on buying and buying and buying.
You'll spend more over time.
You spend more. Yeah. You spend a lot more over time, you know. As long as you have the patience, because you have to have the patience. If you don't have the patience, to save your money and buy the right stuff, then you're spinning top in mud. You know, when you talk about backline equipment and stuff that I have and things, so I always go to. Well, we use most times we use the riders. We watch the riders. We see what's in demand, what was the artist always asking for, and we buy them.
Okay.
Because it used to cost St. Lucia an arm and two legs to bring stuff.
Equipment in. Yeah,
bring stuff in. And I help with a lot of that, you know.
Yeah, changing.
And I'm proud that I help with a lot of that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Man, that is a big icon in the business. You know, that name, like I tell you, we had to definitely, you know, interview you and get that your message, get your story, your journey, because a lot of people will hear the name and they may not know half of what you've been through, half of what you've done, half of what you've achieved, and you know you're still doing great things. Still, I believe your sound company may be the sound company that is the sound company to try to beat in the Caribbean, because I mean we've heard names like Renter Amp and other companies out in Trinidad and the Caribbean, but I know for what, especially from on the outside and looking in, and when I was actually home, I knew from back then that sound company was well renowned. That is up to be doing jazz and to take over from BET. You understand? you had to come good. You had to come better than them, basically.
Yeah. We had to come better than them. The lot of things that we did. I could give you a little joke. You could decide whether you wanted to put it out or not. Or air it or not. When we did the first festival, people wasn't sure if we'd be able to deliver. Right. So we proved them wrong. And in the post-mortem meeting, they asked us. We asked them if everything was okay and what, you know, where our faults are, so we could improve on it. And they said, no, everything is perfect. But we have one problem. So we asked them, well, what's the problem? They said you have one problem. They say we were too much on time. So if you give me a contract, and you say, your first show starts at 9.
Okay.
And by 11:40, everything should be done.
Yeah.
Remember, you gave me the contract.
Yeah.
So tourism, I said, tourism. But it was at the time it was SLTE, I think. And now it changed to something authority, I think, St. Lucia Authority or whatever.
Okay.
I think the name changed slightly now.
Okay.
But anyway, it's the same tourist board. So we said, what do you mean? To the board, because it is board was at the meeting. So if that's not a fault. They make me sign a contract saying we're starting at that time and we're supposed to finish at that time.
At that time.
And then in discussing it with them, we realized that in terms of BT, they used to have long breaks. So a lot of people in St. Lucia like to come to the party late.
Late. That is it.
when they came to us now on that year, 2015, at 11 o'clock, that's when they walking in, the show done.
Done already.
So the fella said, how the show done? They say, but the ticket, watch out your ticket. Your ticket say show starts at 10 and it finish at 12.
Yeah.
Show starts at 11 and it finish at 1.
Yeah.
If we don't come within them times, you cannot hold us responsible because it's written behind the ticket.
Yeah.
Right? So when we took over, people start to come on time.
Yeah,
because
that is it.
We were just doing it on time. Up to this day, we on time. Start on time, finish on time.
That is
if you want me to drag it, you give me your time and tell me you want me to finish 2 o'clock in the morning, and you put your thing to 3 to I go do 2 o'clock.
Yeah.
But don't do me 11 o'clock and think I go stop 5 past 11.
Yeah, man.
At 11 o'clock, the last artist will be on stage doing his thing, and that's the end of that. So we did everything a little different to BT and did it a little more perfect. And that's the reason why we're still there.
The standard, you have a very high standard. Very high standard.
The standard, and that all pens back to the discipline of playing in the hotels, and being on time, and I just continue the company like that. We start on time. We no matter what, we starting on time.
That is
and there are a lot of little things that one could vouch for. Like, I mean, now they're doing it. I did a jazz festival in Barbados one time, and I noticed it was Earth, Wind and Fire, I think, and the back line was late.
Okay.
And I happened to be there doing the sound with the guy at the company. And when they set up the back line and everything, the MC jump on stage and he say, okay, we're ready to start now. Right? They're late, ready to start now. We're going to start. And what freaked me out, and I'll never forget that until I did, the Bajans stand up in the stadium and sing the national anthem. The MC had to shut up.
Wow.
If we have that kind of culture through the Caribbean, it'd be nice.
Wow.
You need to have respect. Now in St. Lucia they do it because I in my time I'm giving them I'm recording Derry D or recording different artists, and I used to give them CDs so this show you might hear Derry D Williams, the next show you might hear. So I used to record that in my studio, bring them in the studio to do the national anthem, and I used to give them to play before we start.
Okay.
I started all of that.
Wow.
But it's a form of respect. You come to my country, you come to enjoy the festival, but at least have a little respect for a few minutes. My national anthem.
That is it.
Barbados freaked me out with that, and I brought it home, and I found it was a good thing.
Yeah, it is.
So when you travel, we went as far as Spain doing things for St. Lucia Tourist Board. People don't know that. I mean, we used to go out every year doing things for St. Lucia Tourist Board, playing at different venues, promoting tourism.
Yeah.
Magic Circle been doing that for years.
Yeah, I know that.
Yeah, we went as far as Spain. We used to come carry 2 speakers and our whole shebang, keyboards and everything. That time you could do that on an aircraft. Now you can't do that.
You can't do that now. You can't travel with no heavy piece of
You can't travel with nothing now. But at that time we could have traveled with our speakers. We had whole band and a whole band, and it used to go through. We used to promote tourism. I mean, right through for years. And nobody know that. I know the people that was involved would know.
Yeah.
We promoted tourism to where it is now.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right.
We used to do Air Jamaica. We used to promote Air Jamaica. Go to DC and bounce up with Shadow and all them fellas. And, we have our stint because we're doing our little Zukan thing, and then there are the fellas doing the little calypso, soca and thing, and mix up thing, and I did that for years. Until Jamaica crash. But I have been around the clock.
That is it. You've been there and you've done that.
So what was the first major events MCE Sound worked on how did it shape your reputation?
I think it's Carnival. Doing Carnival at
Carnival.
Doing Carnival at home. It gave me an extra boost to that. St. Lucia's wanted something new and they wanted their people. They never say that, but they wanted it, and when they got it, they stick with it. Because a lot of now you get a lot of hi-fis and trucks because the cost now is a little more expensive with bands. Bands is a little more expensive, so you get a lot of hi-fis. But in our time, it used to be bands right through. People miss that. You might have a few bands on the road, but
it's not the same. It's not the same. Not the same at all.
Yeah. So I try to shape the music industry. I could only do so much.
For one person, you've done a lot. For one person, that's why I say there are two artists in St. Lucia. We would be on the level of worldwide. St. Lucia would have been known for how we are known in sports. That's how we'd be known in music. If we had two people of your, work ethic and stature in the business, because you've done so much. Anybody that does come into music would know of the Atatiso, and anybody that is into music would know of MCE Sounds. You understand? Those two names. That is a brand. That is a brand name. You understand? That's a top brand name. There have others that have tried but cannot reach to that mark. And we could say that with confidence because I'm really honestly, I'm really proud of your achievements. I'm really proud of everything you've done, and on behalf of myself as a musician, and I think the whole
thank you. I know you always say that. Thanks, man.
Yeah, man. We have to say respect to you and wow. Yeah. Mr. X, any final questions for him before we wrap up? He's busy, he give us a lot of his time there, but don't take him for granted.
No. Any question you want to ask it, because
now is the time to ask it, Mr. X.
I said there are a lot of things that if we have to continue, we will continue until daybreak.
Yeah, I know.
But
give us some gems there, boy.
Just ask me anything you want.
Now is the time, Mr. X.
Huh?
Now is the time, Mr. X, to ask your questions.
The question I want to ask is about the personal perspective. What advice would you give to a young St. Lucian dreaming or building a business in the entertainment, sounds, and production?
Okay, my advice to them would start from the foundation. The foundation is discipline, as we see, right? Discipline is number one. Number two, don't let nobody. Okay, as a Caribbean man, as a black man, you will get fight down.
Yeah.
So you're climbing, but people pulling you down, especially your own. Your own, somehow, I don't know, but your own, you're never a king in your own palace. There's somebody always trying to pull you down. So that barrier there, you have to have a donkerish attitude. You're heading in a certain direction, and don't matter what Johnny say, Harry say, don't matter what nobody say, you stick to your goal and keep going. Because one of these days, they themselves come turn around and say, boy, you really have guts, boy. I give you so much jokes. And I give you so much pressure. You continue, boy, you're still around. You understand? They will come and tell you that. I come and tell me, boy, boy, you used to be doing calypso tense. You used to be doing your pressure and things so, and until we couldn't do without you until you fired you. And you see you tired of that.
Yeah.
Right? And I mix in the cultural center, and a guy will come up to me and tell me, well, you know, I ain't this, I ain't that. I say, well, partner, listen.
Boy.
You need to listen. One of the problems we have in St. Lucia, people don't listen.
Mm-hmm.
They just want to hear what they want to hear.
Mm-hmm.
Right? The music, I try to smooth it down as much as I can, because remember we had the Burning Flames era, 17 plus era that used to come for carnival, and you used to hear the bass coming down the road before you could hear the voices. And so I discard all of that.
Yeah.
Music's supposed to be heard. When you hear the bass, you're supposed to hear the vocals. You're supposed to hear the bass. You're supposed to hear all the instruments, no matter where you're standing, where you are.
True.
So we had an era of that kind of music. So you had, and it's still around, and people figure out bass is it. But if you go to a nice, decent show like jazz or carnival, you will hear the quality is completely different.
Yeah, you hear different.
And we
are
here. We stick to our quality. We ain't really care how much bass you want to hear and how what you think. That is, the music is supposed to be a certain way, and until you learn that is how it's supposed to be, then
we're not changing for you.
You continue doing what you're doing, I'll continue doing what I do. Because I mean, when you have people like Marshall Montano, I did Marshall for years. You've read International, and Marshall will go to Trinidad and talk about St. Lucia, talk about the system, talk about he enjoy working in St. Lucia. You know, the system's so nice and everything just so nice, and everybody's so humble and giving me what I want. When I'm in Trinidad, is the fellas they say he getting stressed, and he didn't mention my name in Trinidad, and he used to call me Atta. I used to call me Atta. I go to St. Lucia, man, and Atta give me what I want, and you all here make around with me. Well, you should go down there and take some, but you know the Trinidad are like that, because the Trinidad, I want to hear nobody better than them. But the Marshall is one of the guys that will tell you like it is. He don't care if you vex or he know what he doing. When Marshall come and do a sound check on my equipment, he want to leave.
Yeah, wow.
They have to remind him, boy, you have to go to the hotel and change and bathe. But you come back, you know, he just happy with what he heard.
Yeah.
You know, so you know, I try to tell everybody, you know, do some listening. If you listen to the equipment, listen to the instruments, you will know when something too loud. You'll know when you overpower in the back of vocals. You'll know when a trumpet or a trombone overpowering something. It's supposed to come at you. Everything's supposed to come at you one time. It's not, you know, you're supposed to have a delay, like you're hearing the vocals, but you're not hearing a trumpet, or you're hearing a trumpet blasting or a trombone, and you're not hearing the back of vocals. No. Everything's supposed to come to you at one time. And the way you do that is listen. Some people listen and they hear an instrument and listen to that one. That one is a classic. You have your mix. And then you have a keyboard that you're not hearing. What would you do, Sam? Tell me what you would do. You're not hearing that keyboard. You're hearing it there, but it's played in the back. You're not hearing it. What would you do? You bring that right.
Well, something is overpowering it. I would try to bring down, if the keyboard is significant, I would try to bring down whatever is clashing with it, that is suppressing it.
That's you're right there. You're right. You hit the nail on the head. Instead of increasing volumes, because 90% of the time you increase volumes, you get distortion. Right?
True.
You go in the red. Right? No PA should be in the red. No signal of any kick drum or snare. Everything's not supposed to be in the red. Not even in the yellow. It's supposed to be in the green and maybe just touching the yellow off and on.
Yeah.
So you instead of going up, you go down. And you listen. Always go down, because you can always use the master to bring everything back up.
That is true. But
work on getting a nice balance, and always remember, don't go up. Especially if you start with your kick and your bass and that nice sit on nice, and you throw the vocals in there, right? everything around there is just the pepper and salt and thing, and just mix it.
True.
It just best to sit down in the back.
True.
You know, so that's why I try to train most of the engineers that I talk to. I say, look, I come there, I listen to you, and you ask me what I think is wrong. When I tell you what is wrong, you feel like trying to criticize. So do ask me. I try to make you improve on what you're doing instead of going up, go down. So they have so many things that loud that the speed they go down, then the boodum will not be there. But you're mixing a nice mix. You know, you're not mixing for the solution man that drink two booze and you're not hearing nothing. You just want it loud. You know what happened to me once? I'll give you what happened to me once. I was mixing Apex on the road. And we going down the road, pelted. So I jump off the truck to go and drop a pee.
Okay.
I come back on the truck. I come back on the truck, giddy. When I say giddy, people jumping behind my truck.
Yeah.
I pass behind my truck.
Yeah.
And I get giddy. And these people jumping behind that truck, holding, drinking rum. And it's normal to them. It's not normal to me. I mean, I didn't even know what I was putting out.
Yeah.
You know, because you're on the truck.
Yeah,
so
true.
You know you're putting out something, but not to that. I mean, I say, but Tisson, how these people jumping behind
Standing in front of that there, boy.
The fellas is behind that truck, and it's like normal to them.
Yeah.
And it get me giddy, and I'm the man mixing. I had to catch myself on the stage and try and take a little pause before I could have catch myself. And these people jumping behind that truck holding. And it's like normal.
That is it. Madness.
That's how loud they want it. You know,
and you can't please them at the end of the day over what you know is the right thing, because you know when you pleasing the audience that probably not even musically inclined or not even aware of how it should sound, when that man come and trouble you, give it more bass, bring up the bass, bring up the kick, bring up this, you know, and then you know it shouldn't really be, and somebody that knows music pass around saying, but is that how that's true, you know? So you can't really lower your standards because the crowd, everybody is saying do this, or the other sound systems are trying to make the sound bigger than it is. You know, you can't lower your standards because people should be looking at you to determine.
Let me tell you, anybody that want their thing loud and big, find your money and buy more speakers. So you don't have to crank up nothing.
Yeah.
You don't have to mash up nothing. You will get it loud and big.
Yeah.
But there's a principle in music, and you have to stick, especially when you're doing studio work. You have to stick to that principle. Anything outside of that will sound bad. Distorted. You might not be hearing it, but when you go up and you play it, I used to do a lot of that machines before. So
I remember those days.
You go back and you play it, you're hearing, boy, that pan, that scalar man around there, they have some notes there that a little distorted. What you have to do, you have to drop it down. Because if you drop it down, the notes sound sweet. You wonder, so they say, well, how that thing sounds so sweet? I used to tell them over and over, it's not volume. It's listening and backing down. But I would say 80% of solutions like the thing loud. They like a lot of bass. That is not music. But you know where I learned that when we did the tour, England, Belgium, France. I remember that tour. Apex did that.
Apex, I remember that.
And we did that tour, and everywhere we go, the people telling us, "Could you please turn down the bass? It's killing me." Everywhere we go.
Yeah.
So when I came out from that tour, I realized that the people up north can't handle the hard beats.
Yeah, it's true.
We in the Caribbean can handle it,
It's
but
true.
the people up there cannot handle it.
It's true. It's true. Very true.
And
Even the
that
club,
encouraged me to mix, differently.
When I first came up to England and going around, as I listen, I seen, but the fellas have good equipment, and how that's sounding so flat in my mind, I seen it sounding flat because I expecting to hear the depth and the bass, and then when I realized going around, I used to say, okay, boy, you live in there and your ear's not ringing. You live in there and you're hearing everything clear, And for example, if you any event, you challenge. You notice when you see people posting videos of them at an event in the Caribbean, they could be far from the system, but all you hear over the phone is brr, brr, this. But when you see you go out places in Europe and around the place, and you could hear the sound clear. So it's telling you nothing is being distorted, nothing is being overdriven. But we've gotten, like you said, we've gotten used to that from the influence of certain bands that used to come. So it's really remarkable, having those conversations because, sound is something you have to be adaptive to your environment and to the crowd and the ambience of wherever. So you can't use the same sort of approach as you would do indoor or outdoor or, in certain venues. And that business of having music extremely loud, it's not good for our eardrums to begin with, and it's not really the way to enjoy music. So it's refreshing, to see your approach and to see that, what you're looking for and what you define. So, MCE sounds, well, I trust me, if I was in St. Lucia, but I'll be following you all to the T.
But we're still having fun with what we're doing. We like what we do. We're still having fun with what we do, and we just try to keep the standard. Keep heading up with the standard. Unfortunately, I started as an analog man, and I end up in digital now.
Digital domain.
The world just capsized on me there. So
I want to ask you as well. As you mentioned that, one last question for you, because for me, in terms of, I'll put it that way, I'll be going to analog and digital. I might be considered old school, but certain things in comparison, I prefer the sound of the analog, in terms of even the drum machines as opposed to the computers now for sampling and all these things. There's just a rawness, a gritty rawness in the sound that when you're using these samplers, and it's true, it's the same sound basically, but the process in terms of how that sound is analog, to me, that's the best experience, and I'm so thankful that I got to experience the analog and not start out in just a digital domain,
Right.
Because it's crazy. And boy,
I remember in my studio. I remember in my studio when I started. I started analog. I had a reel-to-reel tape.
Yes.
I didn't have no DAF tape, something reel-to-reel. 16 channel reel-to-reel, analog board. Everything was analog. So when the times, I try to move the times, and we start to go with dark tapes. I listen to dark tapes. When I install that in my studio, I said my mixing board is broken. Something is wrong. Everything is at the song. Well, I say shitty, really. So I couldn't fathom where that come from. All I do is just change, put in ADATs. I take out the reel to reel, and I just I had to EQ everything over because digital and analog. That's why Bob Marley songs still sound how they sound. All of these things analog. Right? And if you could incorporate
that into your setup
with digital,
that is it.
What digital has done is they tell you have to buy this what do you call it, plugin.
Plugins.
And you have to buy that plugin in order to get a song like analog.
That's a I learned that the hard way. plugins upon plugins upon
So you know
plugins
what I
upon
used to do?
plugins. And you know,
I used to 60% of my recordings used to be analog.
yeah, man.
I only put digital where I think it could work without
Okay.
enhancing
Okay.
it in itself. Because to spend money to go and buy plugins to make it sound like analog, that
Analog.
didn't
That
make no kind of
didn't
sense.
make
That didn't make no sense.
I like how you put it. I like how you put it. Now,
Yeah.
somebody said something to me, Adolph. I don't know. You'll tell me if it's true, and I'll end on that note. Somebody said to me, and that was back in the day. I could remember that was a while back. And the person said to me, "Let me tell you, the Bajans used to leave Barbados and come to rent your studio to record there because, for one, the rates was better, but you had better equipment than what they was getting in Barbados."
Nicholas
Is that
Brangle,
so?
all them fellas, we were very close. We were very, very close, and Alison Hines, all of us, we were very close. Actually, Derek went up and
I told that to Mr. X. Remember I told you that? I told you that.
Derek went up and do a stuff with Alison Hines recorded.
Yeah.
I think because she couldn't sing the patois, and he was singing the ad libs in patois. And man, one of the greatest hits. Yeah, we were always good friends.
I
We always,
remember you had some rooms there for the brass.
yeah,
You
man.
know, I just can't remember because it's decades I haven't been there.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah,
I want to
But,
ask you one last question, Adolph.
Mhm.
Has there ever been, and you don't have to answer if you don't want to, has there ever been a time you felt like giving up on music?
no,
Respect.
no. Up to now, I wouldn't give up on it.
Respect. Wow.
I find my niche. My niche is I decide that the good Lord give me a talent, and I'm going to give back to the good Lord. So I play in about 4 different churches by myself. I back up the choirs. Right up to last time I came from radio, so backing up choirs, practicing in them, trying to show them the way they sing out the key, try to get them in key, because you know how it is already. They're not professionals.
Yeah.
So I always trying to help them down the road to sing in key, and I will give back until I get. I'm not moving from the churches because, as you know, it's difficult to get keyboard players. You probably get a bass player or guitar player, but keyboard players, they're on cruise ships. That's where the money is. They just learn it and go.
No.
They're out there. And they figure out, it's their prerogative. I mean, I have done my stint. Their prerogative, they could do their little stint too. But I consider for the rest of my life, I'm going to play in churches and give back to the Lord because the Lord is who put me where I am today.
Yeah, man. Well, I want to thank you so much for chopping it up with us and giving us such great inspiration as always, and learning some more about your journey and stuff like that. It's like, wow. Honestly, I think the next thing after is probably you have to get somebody to write your autobiography, write a book. I think that's
a couple of television stations talking to me already. Like
you have
they want me to do something with them, and they want to know the journey and things. So I think you have been fortunate and is the first one I really sit down.
I know, and I really appreciate
it. And disclose from the start to the finish. All I could tell people, you have a goal, and don't let nobody discourage you. Don't let nobody put you down, no matter what they say. You're trying to go and do this, and you're going to do that, and you're going to do it well. Just keep at it, and you will do it well. Don't let nobody, because you'll always get criticism, and criticism sometimes is nice too, because it can it make you look and see that you're making your mistakes, and you enhancing what you're doing. Anybody that can't take criticism will not go far. You have to be able to take criticism, take it in a good light, see if it making sense, and do something about it.
Well, I think if I had think hard and long, I would have named my son Atta, in the hope he'd be as great as you. I don't know if it's too late to give him a new middle name, but I'm really proud to know you and to see how you have been a role model to us and continue to inspire us. Atta, well done, man. I can't.
I tell you something, I tell you the final thing. The final thing.
Mm-hmm.
Anything you do in this world, put God first.
Thank you.
End that note.
That is it. That's powerful, eh?
Okay, let's say you have to go and do a gig.
Okay.
You wake up in the morning
Mhm.
and you say, oh God, I late, boy. Oh shit. You just jump in the bath, put on the clothes. You do one, two things. And you just jump in your car and you gone.
Mhm.
You have to put God first. No matter how late you are,
Yeah.
pray
All right.
in the morning. You give God thanks for making you see another day.
Yeah.
And guide you to the journey of wherever you're going to do that gig.
Okay.
Don't matter how late you wake up, no matter, you must have time.
For God.
So not must, you should have time. For the Lord first. When you wake up in the morning, late or no late, you praise the Lord for waking up. You praise the Lord for the journey you're going to have for the day. And then everything else.
Yeah, man.
Will follow.
Wow. Knowledge.
One thing I learned from my godfather. That's the one that had the big green canaries, the canary spread. I don't know if you ever had some.
Yeah.
Yeah, the canary spread. Now he doesn't have, you don't have it anymore because of the hurricane and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And I talking to him often, and he tell me one thing. Always ask God for forgiveness every single day. Before you go to bed, you ask God for forgiveness. Tell him to forgive you for everything you do during the day. And I have that, and I do that all the time. He tell me that.
Because we are not perfect beings.
We're not perfect.
We make mistakes.
Exactly.
Make mistakes along the way. So what he said to you is that's wisdom. There's a lot of wisdom there.
Yeah.
That man no joke. What he's saying there, I respect him 100%. You know, we are not perfect beings, and we must always constantly ask our Lord for forgiveness, because we're not perfect.
True.
You know, even in our thoughts, in our mind,
That is true.
Things pass through our mind.
True.
Somebody pisses us off, or somebody say the wrong thing, and things go through our mind, and that's already a sin. So he's right. You know, you ask for forgiveness when you go to bed and say, Lord, please forgive me for the day. I might have done some wrong things in between. And then you wake up in the morning and you praise him again for waking up, and you know, and you go along that road and you say,
Thank you so much for joining us. We've had after Tisson, MCE Sounds in the building tonight, and we're very happy and very proud as St. Lucians to have such an iconic figure with us. So folks, you can go out and check his website. It's online. I think it's let me just double check. It's mcesoundslimited.com. So you could go out and check the services and everything they provide. And if you're in St. Lucia, you know, you could just look them up and, you know, work with them and get that quality. Anytime you have an event or anything coming up, no other choice but MCE Sounds. That's the sound. That's the best of the rest. You understand? So,
thanks,
much
thank you.
and thanks for giving us the time and blessing us. This is priceless for us.
Thank you. Have a nice day. I thank you, blessing for sure.
Till next time.